What's going on, Panther Nation? It's KJ Marshall here at Las Vegas Summer League, supporting our guys, Zack Austin, Bub Carrington, Blake Hinson, from watching them as a teammate, and now watching them at the Summer League. Let's go inside, let's go support our guys, let's go do what we do.
I thought I told you time and time again that we won't stop. Make it show by show, I'm trying to triple and double the pot. Before at least 6 feet or show or more for him on now. Hooping at 25 rows, all great interior, whenever it's cloudy. Every day better my growth from chasing health and wealth, not clout. Baddies under my belt, I cook like a chef from Mr. Child.
I would say Pitt helped me a lot. And I would say they helped me a lot, and not just in the obvious, like on the court stuff with, Capel and that staff, but I want to start with Coach Vince, Vince Williams. He was our strength coach, and DA, our trainer. Those guys kind of, now that I'm looking back on, they talk all the same language that I'm hearing now, and they really knew their stuff. They kind of already put me on a pedestal kind of when I got here, because I can hit the ground rolling. No one has to kind of tell me things twice or walk me through things. That'll put you ahead. And obviously on the court, Capel did an amazing job coaching us, speaking the language, kind of telling us what they would expect. Like I've told this story before, he never told me you're not playing to play in college, you're playing to play in the league. And he kind of molded me for that, and that helped me a lot.
And our whole thing is, are you afraid of the work? If you're not afraid of the work, we believe in our ability to help you get better. But it's a process. And we've been very lucky that we've been able to get guys here that aren't afraid of the work, that in fact they invite it. They've been guys that have a chip on their shoulder, that feel like they're better than they are, and they've just wanted an opportunity to prove that. And our program, our coaching staff has given them the opportunity to do that, but it's on them. They put in the work, and so I'm really proud of the guys that we've had that have come here, that have gotten better, that have worked, that have believed in us as a coaching staff. And when I say us, I'm including Vince in that, our strength and conditioning coach, and they've gotten better, and they've been able to go on and achieve their dreams.
Yeah, that coaching staff and that fan base has gave me the confidence that I need to be able to survive in these type of areas and these type of professions, as you need it to compete against the best. And that coaching staff in that city reassures me that I'm the best as well. So,
just playing in the ACC, giving me that bigger platform. Playing in the Big South, there's not too many eyes, too many scouts, looking at that conference. So, just giving me another outlet, another place I can showcase my talents and skills, and just going against better competition. ACC full of dogs. So, just playing that and just knowing if I can play in that level, I can play, in this one. The JC is just like another father figure I got in my life. Ever since he been recruiting me, he just been making sure everything is, making sure I keep the main thing. Even non-basketball related stuff with him is just everything off the court, making sure I graduate, making sure I keep my promises when it comes to, doing certain things, making sure I'm a man before everything.
I would say just consistency and commitment. It's something that I prided myself on when I first got to Pitt. I wanted to be the most consistent player on the court and off the court in my academic realm as well. When I came to Pitt, I made sure I had a routine, and I still stick to that to this day. I make sure I have a routine as a coach. I'm consistent as a coach, not only on the court when I'm working with guys, but off the court, whether it's video, whether it's just building a relationship and trust with guys. And I think just that commitment and consistency really at Pitt kind of started it, and the foundation that Jamie Dixon brought here. And then ultimately it led me to being an All-American, winning a gold medal, and now coaching in the NBA.
I mean, Pitt to me has always been a place of work. And whether that's you work on staff or you're playing, or even in the city, it's a blue collar city, and it's all about work there. So I feel like I developed a sense of pride in that, sense of pride in the work, and then just being able to build toughness throughout that.
With me, I think everything starts, defensively, so just being the same defensive minutes I was at, Pitt. talking to JC every day, just making sure I stay locked in on that end of the court, and then off the court, just being a good guy, being a good friend, just being a good teammate in general, just making sure the guys are, all good, making sure everybody's just having fun and just making sure everybody's just, living in the moment.
The blessing is huge. It's the biggest stage in basketball and you get a chance to play. So, whether you're playing a bunch of minutes, starting, not starting, whatever, you get to play on the biggest stage in basketball at the time. And that's just a big enough blessing enough. And my mindset towards it is, put on a show. Just like you said, it's a big stage, and you here to put on a show. That's how I look at it.
When did it kind of click to you where it's like, okay, I can not only play at the next level, but I can contribute right out the gate?
I would say after our last game of the season.
A champion. The first semifinal coming your way tonight. The #1 seed North Carolina against the 4 seed, the Pitt Panthers.
And I didn't know it was going to be our last game of the season. But Final Four in the ACC tournament. During that game, I was feeling it that game. I came out like 4 for 4.
Soft touch by Bub Carrington.
He just uses that ball screen so well.
Carrington with a Bacon on him. Tough 2, and it goes.
That is not an easy shot.
And throughout that whole entire game, I was killing him. And it never I didn't ever feel like I broke a sweat.
Load to carry.
The 3, yes. What a night he is having.
Like that game felt really easy. And it was definitely one of our, if not the best, the second best team we played all year in the biggest stage we played at all year. And after that game, obviously we lost, but I had mindset like we're going to the tournament. This won't be my last college game, but I wasn't even thinking about college. I was like, I feel like I could do this at the next level. Like that wasn't hard. And it was definitely at that last game of the season, I was like, I could definitely do this.
When we recruited Bub, the first time I saw him, I knew that he was really good. It was in Atlantic City. It was an AAU tournament. And I thought, man, this kid's got it. And we offered him right away. When I saw him the following summer, it was the summer going to his senior year, it was actually the spring. And he had already committed to us. And it was interesting, I was watching a game with a really good friend of mine who at the time was a head coach in the NBA. And he didn't know anything about Bub. Bub was not ranked or anything like that. And they were playing against another really good team with 3 guys on that team that were all top 10 guys in that class. And so we're watching, and my friend says to me, who's that kid? Like, he's really good. He's the best player out here. And it was Bub. And I knew then, okay, like I think he's going to have a chance to be a pro. When he got here and we started working with him that summer, I said to my staff, this may go quicker than we think. But I wasn't thinking 1 year. But the thing that I saw was how quickly he picked things up. I already knew he was a gym rat, but to like really see it, like to be around it and to feel it. But the biggest thing was how smart he was and how quickly he was able to pick things up. We knew that we wanted to put the basketball in his hands. And when we started playing games, after the first 4 games, I remember I called his parents and I said, like, hey, we need to talk because this thing is going to go a lot faster than probably any of us thought. At the time, I wasn't 100% sure 1 year, but I thought there was a possibility for that to happen. And then like any freshman, he struggled a little bit, and he kind of got back where he got going. And if you look at the last 8-10 games of the season, that's when I really knew like this is going to happen. I think there's a really great chance this is going to happen. The game at Boston College towards the end of the year, certainly the North Carolina game, where we knew that he's going to really have a chance, and something that we supported, and very fortunate having the relationship with his parents, with his family, that they trusted us, and we were able to get great information and encouraged him to make that move.
The biggest adjustment I would say I had to make, like on the court, would probably just be truly like your body. Everyone's truly just like bigger and faster. Like these are world-class professional athletes, and you got to be able to keep up you know, playing every night, sometimes 2 nights in a row, stuff like that, 3 nights and 4, or 3 games and 4 nights. Like, I would probably say that was my biggest adjustment, was really locking in on the nutrition side. For me personally, that transition has been really smooth. Like, I've gained a lot of weight, gained a lot of muscle mass, all that stuff throughout the year, during season and during this off season. So this transition's been really smooth, thanks to the Wizards.
Making myself more of a complete player outside of just a shooter. Yeah, man, it shocked the heck out of me that I didn't start off my year very well. And I'm a very confident person, and I was just prepared to just kill him, and I was very shocked that I wasn't killing. So that shocked me the most, that, you know, and I had to put in some extra work, but that shocked me the most. Like, it's not easy. Like, killing in college does not necessarily translate to killing in the pros. And I learned that fast, and then you have to readjust and reinvent yourself. You just gotta keep recalling, you know, you've watched yourself perform at high levels, and you've witnessed it, you've literally lived the moment. You can't never forget those feelings and understand you can tap into it again.
The biggest adjustment when it came to, you know, was overall just the physicality and just the stuff, you know, certain reps, you know, the reps at that level just let you get away with. It's more, you know, pulling, tugging, a lot, you know, more bigger bodies, you know, playing against grown men at the end of the day with families to feed. So just knowing that you really got to be locked in every single game.
A lot of similarities when it comes to whatever you put in, you're gonna get out. Ultimately, you know, what I put in as a coach in terms of just my preparation is very similar to my preparation as a player, making sure I was the most conditioned, I was consistent as a shooter, and just playing my role to the maximum level. You bring that to the coaching realm, whether it's on the offensive end or defensive end. As a coach, you bring your maximum, you play your role, and typically you have a winning organization.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great experience. One, stepping into the head coach role, you start to develop a different bond with the guys. All these guys have different goals and different things that they want to get better at, and my job is to hold them accountable to those things. For us as an organization, it's toughness and it's defense. Those are the things that we've been pushing. And so my job is, again, to hold those guys accountable to those things, which has been really cool. But I mean, just for me, the growth and the development of my coaching career has expanded in these last couple of weeks. So it's been a lot of fun.
Well, Chris is someone that our program is really, really proud of. He was a good player here. He was a big part of winning, a big part of the culture. He embodied toughness, a great teammate, and a winning player. I'm not surprised with the success that he has had so far in coaching and working his way up. I know when he and Steve Wojciechowski, you know, initially started working together, Wojo called me and asked me about him, and I had any interaction. And at the time, I had coached against him. And then when I took the job, the very next day, I played pickup. It's the last time I ever played pickup, but I played against Chris. He was a GA here. And so really happy for him, really proud of him. He seems like a guy that's a hard worker. It's the thing that made him a good player is what's going to make him a really good coach. Hard worker, no BS, all about the right stuff, all about winning. And he's going to bring that to the Jazz organization.
Yeah, it's a blessing, honestly, bro. Like, you know, that's part of the reason I came here. I knew they had, you know, people that was going to be in the league that's, you know, my same type of position. So just having somebody like that is, you know, it's just super cool and just shows, like, you know, the Pitt culture. I reached out to, you know, Blake, you know, even during the season, Blake was telling me, you know, certain things to just make sure, like I said earlier, just defensively is going where I'm gonna, you know, lay my hat when it comes to the NBA. So making sure I stay on that, you know, the shot gonna fall. You know, I put a lot of work in on that, so not really too stressed about that. Just telling me the ins and outs and how, like, you know, certain things it is, you know, especially in the G League, of how everything is operated and stuff like that. Just making sure I just stay leveled. At the end of the day, like, we all gonna stay brothers at the end of the day, you know. After school is over, after Pitt is done with, we still hanging out, you know, kicking it, you know, finding ways to see each other in the off season. So it's fun and it's cool to have somebody like, you know, B2, you know, in my phone.
I mean, that's huge for Jeff. That's huge for them. Really more huge for them than it is for us. Like, we're gonna always be friends, and I love that I met them, and they're gonna be in my life for my life. But it's a testament to Jeff for bringing in the right talent and him coaching it and it working and us getting a platform to be here. I mean, that's, also to the city of Pittsburgh and the fans too for just making us feel good enough and making us feel confident to go out there and perform. So that's real more ups to the program and Jeff and the city.
Yeah, well, the foundation is really, really important. When I took this job, I had so much respect for how they played in the Big East championships and the #1 seeds in the NCAA tournament. They were usually, for a while there, in the top 10 in the country. And when I took this job, I wanted the current guys that we have and the guys that we're recruiting to know and understand they're a part of something that's bigger than them, and to see the impact that those guys had on the program. I wanted our current players to be able to pick the brains of the guys and to try to figure out, why were they good? How did they become good? Maybe after some tough times, how did they persevere? How did they stay together? How were they able to be tough? How were they able to win? I want our guys to understand that they're a part of something. And then in turn, when their time is done here, for them to come back. One of the coolest things for me is, when we had the TBT, to see those guys come back and to see a Levance Fields pull guys to the side and talk to them about, what made their teams good and how to improve their games. And then the coolest thing has been to see our guys that we've had come back, to see Justin Champagnie make it a point to come back and be here when we start school, to work with the guys, to practice with them, to work with them, to hang out with them, because guys did that for him. And for him in his mind to say, hey, I want to give back like that, that's a really, really cool thing.
That's ultimately why I chose Pitt, because it was a welcoming vibe, sports city. Ultimately, when you see all of the updated things that they've done throughout the campus, it just makes it worthwhile. That's really what you do it for as a player, to give back to the next generation so they can have even better than what you did.
Justin, that's my guy though. It means a lot though. Like Justin, you enter in a whole different atmosphere. You got teammates that got kids about 5 years younger than you. You got some teammates that was in high school a year and a half ago, like me. Like it was, you got a whole kind of dynamic in the locker room. It's kind of hard to navigate NBA locker rooms when you first get there, but to have that familiar face, it's already kind of easy. Like I'm already kind of felt settled in because I already had someone to kind of talk to, kind of rant with, and things like that.
Justin's a perfect example of what we talked about earlier, of guys having the freedom to be them. He was a guy that, I'm not sure Justin was ranked, and he came here, he played 2 years, had an outstanding 2 years, and turned pro and has been able to find a home there in Washington. And then to watch their relationship this year, to see how happy Bub was when Justin signed a long-term contract, a guaranteed contract. All year long, I've been talking to Bub, talking to both of them, but in talking to Bub, he had been saying Justin's killing. Like, he deserves this. Like, man, they got to do this. And to see that happen and to see how excited Bub was for that, to see Justin and to have Justin there, a guy from Pitt, is something that I think really, really helped Bub feel comfortable.
Has there been anyone, whether it's from high school, college, or in the league, that has kind of, mentored you and helped you, throughout this first rookie season?
Oh yeah, I mean, tons of people. I would honestly, I really just want to chalk it up to my dad. Like, high school, college, and even in the league, as much as he could, he was just the ultimate mentor, the ultimate just kind of voice in my ear, angel on my shoulder. Like, he just always kind of knew what to do, or knew how to get me out of situations, knew how to get me thinking about something else, get me focused. He really truly helped me a lot during this journey.
Well, maybe I ain't got no fuel. Knowing someone else believes, that fuels me a ton. So for example, when I broke the record for 3-pointers at Pitt, I was at other schools and they laughed at me for saying I was the best shooter in the nation. When things get rough or things aren't, and when it's hard to find motivation, which is not often if I'm being honest, but when it does, you think about people like Jason who believe and you do it for them. Learning from him and that coaching staff, but it's definitely Jason, just really just be you. Don't try to recreate yourself, don't try to recreate your game. on and off the floor. On and off the floor. Just don't try to recreate yourself. Like, do you, and that's good enough.
But Blake never had a bad day. And as a coach, he never allowed us to have a bad day. His energy was infectious. You normally heard him before you saw him. He showed up every day with an unbelievable attitude about getting better.
I was able to, achieve everything I wanted. So just making sure I stay level-headed, keeping the main thing, and just knowing that I can, control only what I can control. So don't worry about the outside noise or the other stuff that comes with, this basketball stuff. Just making sure I just keep a level head and just stay on track.
Panther Nation, and that's a wrap from Summer League 2025. We got to catch up with our guys, Blake Hinson, Zack Austin, Bub Carrington, Chris Jones, and a few more. Hopefully we get to see y'all again next year, and that's a wrap.